Okay, so in this problem, we talked a little bit about it in the last video, but think about centripetal acceleration always points towards the center of whatever it's rotating around. Well, then the force then always points towards whatever it is rotating around. So, and it's not a new force, it's just whatever forces are pointing towards the center of the circle. So in this case, if I was spinning a object on the end of a string around my head, the centripetal force would be equal to the tension in the string, because that is what is the force that's pointing towards the center of the circle. So we learned that the acceleration is, for centripetal acceleration, is v squared tangential speed squared over r. Okay, well, and now we're talking about force, and remember, force equals mass times acceleration, so we can just throw in there the mass, and then v squared over r gives us our centripetal force. Okay, so if I look at this, it says a 0.015 kilogram ball is shot from a plunger of a pinball machine. Because of a centripetal force of 0.028 newtons, the ball follows a circular arc whose radius is 0.25. What is the speed of the ball? So we're given everything except for the speed. So I just plug in my numbers. 0.028 newtons equals 0.015 kilograms. V squared is what we're solving for, well, the V, and then the radius is 0.25 meters. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 0.25, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 0.015. Then I'm going to take the square root of my answer, and I am going to keep 2 sig figs, so our answer ends up being 0.68 meters per second. Okay, so in this question, we're still using centripetal force. It says, at what maximum speed can a car safely negotiate a horizontal unbanked turn in dry weather? Coefficient of static friction is 0.95, and in icy weather. So this is just I'm going to just draw this like it's the back end of a car. We got our tires here, okay? And then here's our tail lights. Okay, so if it's going to safely navigate this, and then if we're like looking, it's going to be turning like this around an unbanked turn, right? So the for maximum safety, okay, the centripetal force needs to be no greater than the static friction force. Okay, so we know that Fc is going to be equal to the friction force, right? Well, we know that this is mv squared over r, and this is the coefficient of friction times Fn, and since this is flat, we know that Fn is equal and opposite to mg, so the mass of the car times gravity. Okay, notice that the masses cancel, okay, and then I can just rearrange this and solve for a v. So mu times g times r, and then take the square root of that. That'll give me my max speed. And so I can plug in use the same formula for both of these, just change my coefficient. So for dry weather, I'm going to have 0.95 times 9.8 times 51, and then I'm going to take the square root of that, and I get, I'm going to keep 2 sig figs, V equals 22 meters per second. Then if I plug in for icy conditions, 0.1 times 9.8 times 51, take the square root, I get V equals 7.1 meters per second. Okay, so we talked about centripetal force and how it's just not a new force, it's just whatever forces point towards the center of whatever it is rotating around. And we talked about an unbanked curve, and so now we're going to talk about a banked curve. So we're going to draw this, a woman on a jet ski. Okay, and I'm going to exaggerate this bank. Okay, 22 degrees. And then here she is. Okay, and then we have gravity, force of gravity pointing down. We have the normal force, Fn, pointing up. And then we can look at these other components. But we are focused on, in this case, the x component. We're not going to tilt the axis on this. We're looking at the x component of our normal force. Okay, so if we use our rules about angles, this angle right here will be the same as this angle right here, okay? Or you could draw it the other way, like this, and then therefore this would be the same angle of 22 degrees, okay? So if I look at this, the only part that is pointing towards the center is this part right here, okay? Or if you're using this triangle, this part right here is the only part that's pointing towards the center. So we need to figure out, using our formulas, what the radius is for this so that she doesn't crash into the wall, okay? So I know that this part right here, if I just use my formulas for Fn and trigonometry for right triangles, I can say that Fn times sine theta is equal to mv squared over r, okay? So I just used my, I wanted to use my basic trig functions and solve for the opposite side of this vector. And then since that's the only part that is pointing towards the center, that is equal to the centripetal force formula, which is mv squared over r, okay? Now, what I can do is I can look at finding the y component of this vector, because that's going to be equal and opposite to the weight. So this time I'm going to use cos for that. And so Fny, which is equal to mg, is equal to Fn cos theta. Okay, so now I'm going to solve that equation for Fn. I'm going to take this part right here and I'm going to solve it for Fn, and then I'm going to substitute it in to this formula right here. So I solve for Fn just by dividing both sides by cos theta. So I end up with Fn equals mg over cos theta. Then I'm going to plug this formula in for Fn up here, and I end up with mg sine theta over cos theta. Now, if you remember from geometry, sine over cos can be simplified to tangent. So we end up with this equaling mg tangent theta. Okay, so now I can use this and plug it in up here so that it is equal to mv squared over r. Okay, so I have mg tan theta equals mv squared over r. The m's can cancel out, and we just have, and we want to solve this for v, right? So then I multiply both sides by r, I get g. And then I'm going to take the square root of that to get our speed. Oh, wait, no, they wanted us to solve for the radius. So let's take this a step back. We're still going to multiply both sides by r, but then we are going to divide both sides by g tan. Okay, so we end up with r equaling v squared over g tan theta. And so we just plug in our information from the problem to get our answer. And since we can only keep 2 sig figs, our answer ends up being 170 meters. So she would have to start tilting the jet ski at a 22-degree angle, 170 meters before the wall, in order, if she didn't want to slow down, in order to miss crashing into it.